Hey folks, we're back. We're here at Circuit World in Blue Ridge every Friday morning, and it's time for the All-Star Political Panel. I do not know what they're doing right now, and I'm not going to look over. We have Bruce, Rick, and Jane, and you know they're tired of hearing me say this. I wonder if we have anything to talk about every week. I wonder if they have anything to talk about this week.
No.
Where do we start?
I tell you.
Can we do a banned phrase? Can we?
You go for it.
You know, Gutfeld on the 5, he does these banned phrases. Can we always make a pact that we do an AOC free show? No AOC talk. I'm so over that little twit.
Oh, yeah, I got that. I agree. Yeah,
okay,
I
good.
mean,
put that in the record, Josh. We got an AOC
I'm
ban.
agree with that. AOC, no AOC. Okay.
How about Ilhan Omar?
We could go there because that's a danger to this country that people do not. All right,
I got a great meme
already
on her.
agreed to the AOC, so I can't go back there. But
okay, since you're the leader, we'll give you a reprieve for it.
But
what I'm saying,
2
what
minutes.
you're
2
saying,
minutes.
what you're saying,
Yeah.
that woman's dangerous to this country. Absolutely. It's what she said about 9/11. Can anybody quote it or remember exactly what?
Yeah, some people did
something.
Yes.
Some people did
something.
Some people
And
did.
she's in a big back and forth with that Army vet, Crenshaw.
Yeah, the guy with the patch.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There was a meme I saw that said, she's saying, I came from a country where I couldn't say anything. I had to keep my mouth shut, and I've come to this country so I can talk and say anything I want to make it a country where you can't say anything and you have to keep your mouth shut. I mean,
Yes,
that
so we can
kinda
bring it
goes
back to a country
that.
like I left.
Right, like she left. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. Sudan.
Okay,
Think
so
about it.
first of all, we know that the deep state media they are the defense team. They are the defense team for the Obama administration, Hillary Clinton, the deep state, because they have. If you watch out there, as you know I do, I watched Morning Joe this morning, yesterday, and they are definitely the defense team. They're running defense, and they're saying that Attorney General Bob Barr made his comments without any evidence. But really, I watched all 2.5 hours of his testimony, and I said, I think it was on his testimony was Thursday.
The Senate testimony
was Thursday.
Was that's what you watched, I believe.
Yeah. The House, I knew there wouldn't really be any news breaking out of the House when I think that was Tuesday. Tuesday, Attorney General Barr testified before the House Appropriations Subcommittee, supposed to be about his budget. I knew nothing would really break out of that. That's run by the Democrats. But it was the Senate, and I said this on my show Tuesday. I said this one is the one I'm paying attention to because I want to hear Kennedy, that's a Louisiana senator, and I want to hear Lindsey Graham. I want to hear what they say, okay? And just that, they're the ones that really broke the news, and it is blown up Thursday. Now, I understand that Attorney General William Barr, is not going to give away his evidence. He's not going to give away the reasoning why he wants to look. You're not
Why
going
show
to
your cards? I mean, it's early. It's early in the game.
he's a cool cucumber.
I agree with why show your cards, but it's just something you're not going to do because you're investigating something. So you're not going to discuss your reasons why.
Exactly.
But the media is saying that he made these accusations and he's buying into conspiracy theory, our conspiracy theory. This is what they're saying, that he has bought into our conspiracy theory. He said what he did in fear of Donald Trump tweeting and attacking. I mean, it's everything and anything.
It's just amazing how they can take and twist words, because everybody in their right mind knows that Carter Page was surveilled. Call it spying, call it surveillance.
Yeah, legally spying.
Not to say that it
That's
was
what they're
illegal.
calling it.
And he said that. He said, I'm not suggesting that there wasn't a predicate for what was done.
Right. But I don't know.
But I don't know, and I'm going to find out. And that's what an attorney general should do.
First inning. I mean, first inning.
Yeah.
You know what's just shocked them out of belief is that we were on the fence. I was with Barr because he was a Bushite.
I know you were, and I was just going to ask you.
And you know, I'm thinking, give me a break. He's part of that thing. It's going to be awful. I believe that they thought the same thing. And then when he testified, he said the Muellers and the Barrs are best friends. We've been friends for years. I thought, give me a break. But what he is, and I believe Trump has shared some incredible things with him that we don't know yet, that he knows. And I believe that he is a man to follow the rule of law, and they're surprised about that. They didn't think that he was going to stand up for his country and what's right. I mean, if the rule of law told him to stand on his head, this man, I think, would stand on his head. So they are flabbergasted.
And now he's Trump's lackey lawyer.
Now he's a lackey. So
lawyer.
If people can't see through that, even the people on the left, if they can't see through that, then they're never going to see through anything.
They don't want to see through it.
No, no, they don't.
I mean, you know, there's no evidence. The whole Mueller investigation started with no evidence.
That's not, but see, if you watch it, and this always, I always come back to this, this is presumably educated people that are bringing the news to the American people on these networks.
How about supposedly biased?
And they know when a senator is pressuring you and saying, where's your evidence? Hey, I happen to be, let's get clear here, I happen to be at a appropriations subcommittee hearing, which means we're supposed to talk about why I'm buying too many Band-Aids, okay, right? This is what I'm supposed to be talking about. I'm not going to come today and tell you all the reasoning, because that's part of an investigation. Now, throughout the time, good or bad, throughout the time of the Mueller investigation, okay, we had the leaks that made the New York Times and the Washington Post. We had the leaks.
Yep.
But what we did not have is, you know, Mueller didn't come out and do press conferences and say, I'm doing this and I'm doing that, right? Barr's not going to do that.
And that was respected. I mean,
right. At that time, that was respected. Now that this guy just doesn't come out and say, this is what we have. Now, what say you on the comment of spying? You watched it. What say you on that, or all of you?
Well, I thought it was telling when Lindsey Graham made the comment about normally if the Department of Justice or the FBI understands that possibly someone is being surveilled in a political campaign, they would notify that campaign.
Espionage, a foreign entity trying to infiltrate your campaign.
They would notify that campaign.
Foreign or domestic.
Right, exactly.
Was Trump's campaign notified? Heck no. Was Dianne Feinstein notified when she had a Chinese hacker in her...
After 20 years.
Yeah, she was notified. And that was what was cool, because the look on her face was unbelievable.
I was say, fine, if you watch, you got to go back and watch, because there were some moments that I like what Lindsey Graham did, okay? And does this still shock you when we say things like we like what Lindsey Graham said? Does it still?
I think
she said that last week. I was just said that last
but I've said it myself.
Yeah. I mean, every time it comes out of my mouth, that okay, let's follow Lindsey Graham's lead. Hold on.
He's terrified.
You got something on him?
They got Trump. They do. I mean, he's either doing this or he's in the computer pan.
All right. Now the media won't tell you this. I mean, and they always, I get disgusted with so many things with them, but they always talk in the tense of for the American people, like they're talking and for the American people, and they're giving the American people the information they need. And here's the thing: is the reality of what they will not discuss is, again, to be redundant, this was an appropriations subcommittee hearing, and actually William Barr, Attorney General, had the CFO of the department there to seriously answer, this area, is there a hiring freeze, not hiring freeze, why are you at the 100 judges, where Trump wants 100 new judges, right, for the border.
At the border.
Right, that's what this actual subcommittee was designed to do. So what I really liked is the Senate Judiciary Committee. So get ready out there. That's headed up by Lindsey Graham. All right, the Senate Judiciary Committee, and that's where some things are going to break out here soon. And Lindsey Graham came into the room. All the senators were not there. They just came in at their appropriate time. He came in the room. He sat down. He laid out the FISA court warrants, right, the big stuff. very quickly, remember? And then he said, is it not appropriate to, like you said, Rick, is it not appropriate to brief a candidate, much like you did? And Barr says, yeah, I'm concerned about that. I'm concerned why we didn't do that. And I'm going to look at the genesis, okay, of this whole thing. And then Graham got up and walked out to go do other things. But he laid out some pretty powerful stuff. Did he
we all have said, I'm sorry, we all have said time and time again that anybody who's worth their salt as an attorney, if they're answering something, if they're throwing something out there, they're not throwing out there just to let it explode. They've got something behind it.
You know, Lindsey Graham the other day in this situation is reminiscent of the Kavanaugh hearings where he brought up treason, and haven't we executed some people for treason in this country? Lindsey Graham goes in there and sets the platform for taking off. I mean, he is setting up what's going to happen, and he did that. He did that the other day. Was that yesterday or the day before? He said, I saw it, but I just saw
Tuesday
a replay.
was the House. Wednesday
when he said,
right.
You know what? Yeah, right. So he's the man who was on the other side, and I think it's brilliant because the other side used to love him because he was the Gang of Three. I mean he was over there, and now, you know, he's instrumental. I have to say.
Well, there was something. Go ahead, Bruce. No, go ahead.
Just going into the chaos of both the House and the Senate. Ed Rendell, the former DNC head, was on Fox Business this morning with Maria, and he said all this stuff with the name we can't mention and Ilhan Omar and 9/11, what she said about that. She said they're not doing anything for the people. You know, they're talking about all these issues and they're not doing anything that they were elected to do.
They're not governing. They're not governing.
Legislation is dead stop in the water.
He had a different tone on Laura Ingraham last night.
Well, another flip there, and I don't want to get off on it, is I really think some of these committee hearings hopefully are exposing the clowns that are running the college, okay, and the
inmates running the asylum.
Well, I always like clown college, okay, so let's stick with that. All right?
You like what?
The clown college. Okay?
I like mad people.
That works.
But what I'm saying is, let's look at, here you have a person that is the head of a committee that brings the corporate bad bankers up before them, which, okay, fine, and Maxine Waters starts questioning this banker on college
all of them.
All 6 of them.
Yeah, let's go with the big bank. Monahan.
College loans.
God, that was just.
By the way, you don't remember Barack Hussein Obama took over college loans? I know that.
You know, it was so brilliant. It was so much fun though to watch because they just let her go, and she went through every one of them. She embarrassed herself with 6 times. So there's 6 guys sitting there.
Yeah, 7 guys.
7 guys.
7.
She embarrassed herself 7 times. What about you? We stopped making those, X amount of time. We stopped making those. There you go. And
Jamie Dimon.
And then someone.
She didn't know the answer.
The Wells
to the
Fargo
question
guy was laughing. He's going, well, we stopped that in 2009.
And then all of a sudden you see somebody come up and go, whisper in her, and she.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you don't remember the government took over college loans. We stopped that.
We don't do that anymore.
All right, so.
Yeah, so those million kids that have defaulted, it's your problem.
And then
which is, of course, our problem because we're paying for it.
The exchange she had with Mnuchin was just so childish. Yeah, this is a new day and a new way, and I've got the gavel. He said, well, you're going to gavel me out? Because I got to go to a meeting.
Yeah, you got to move it up and down and make some noise.
That's right.
Well, he was promised when he went into the meeting, the hearing, he notified them that he had a very important meeting he had to go to at a certain time.
He would like to leave at 3 o'clock.
He had to go at this time.
The Bahrain ambassador.
Right. Could it be done? And they understood that going in. He's like, okay, could you hit the thing? I told you I got to be out of here. What's with you people? I mean, you're not getting the damn tax return.
6th grade stuff.
Well, I mean, she would do that automatically just to embarrass them.
Yeah.
Say, yeah, sure, anything, we'll work with you, and then.
Petty.
Couple more things on the Mueller report, and then I know we got several other subjects and whatever you want to get into. But I thought it was interesting. I like to watch mannerisms, and I watched I watched Barr's face very closely for 2.5 hours, and I have to tell you, I like the way he gives them looks like, what the hell's wrong with you?
He is ice.
Is he? And here's the
ice.
Directed ice, man.
And was it the
You're
senator?
right.
Was it the senator from Rhode Island? I can't remember if it was, but the guy said, in the best of my memory, the guy says, spying. Well, you know, there's going to be the cable news echo world is going to go nuts over this. They're going to spin the word spying. Would you like another chance? Basically, what he said, right? Would you like another chance? And he said, unwarranted surveillance, if that works better in your head, right? He said, if that helps your, you know.
Yeah, choose some new words. Go with it.
If that's what you want, unwarranted surveillance. Okay, we'll go with that.
I'm glad Jane is coming around on Barr, because I remember having a conversation in here, and when his name was first introduced, you remember me telling you
Right.
about the conversation at lunch, and the mutual friend of ours who was head of the chiefs of police nationwide. He was former chief of police here in Georgia. He brought in Barr to speak to their group, and he said the one thing that he remembers, and they're still friends, they still speak. The one thing that he remembers is, beyond everything, beyond relationships, he is a guy that will enforce the rule of law.
Yeah, we
believe
talked to him at lunch one day, and he just said Barr's a solid guy, just solid.
He should have emailed me. Saved me a
I
lot
like
of
to keep.
problems.
I want to keep the balance. I want to keep the balance here. I'm optimistic. Everything we're talking about
Mildly
today,
or wildly?
okay. Everything this group and you out there, we know you keep up with it out there. We've known all this stuff for a long time. The surveillance, the spying. They made fun of Trump when Trump said they tapped Trump Tower. Wait till we see all these things come out. We get it, okay? The media is acting like this is something brand new. This is just a conspiracy, and they're buying, Barr's buying into conspiracy, and they're running defense as hard as they can if you watch it. So the battle is now to another level. I think that's what happened this week. I mean, I for one believe we're in a battle for the country, just to save the country.
Without a doubt.
And I believe the battle is right now. It went to a new level this week. Will you agree?
It's escalating, and something's got to happen one way or the other. And the deep state has their plan, and they're pulling out all the stops. I just heard that. I heard an interview that was in the Senate or the House years ago, where they're asking the head of the CIA or FBI, one of those, or the Secret Service, heck, I don't know which one, but they said, is it true that you have a gun? Have you heard this? That your organization has a gun that shoots an ice bullet that makes the tiniest hole in a body that you cannot find. The ice melts, and they have a heart attack. I think Breitbart, you know. And he said, yes, we have that. We have that. Hello. And that's why you see on the heart attacks are fatal. You keep saying that, you know. But they have that capability, the deep state, and that's just the bottom of the rung. So things have got to break open pretty clearly, and soon. And I think Nunes is starting now with his eight
All right, let's go.
So
let's
it's
go
starting
there.
to come.
Let's go with Nunes. You know, when I say I'm optimistic, but I tell you what, I'm running within the speed limit. Okay.
Oh no, that's
stay in your lane.
No, I'm staying in the speed limit because this goes all the way to Obama. Obama is not clean. So I'm wondering just how far we will go.
Yeah, me too.
I'm wondering just how far. I don't want just low-level people. I don't want to start seeing the James Comey of the world saying, I didn't know my assistant did that. All right.
So you want Obama in the middle of the circular firing squad?
Yeah, and I want to be
here's what I want.
squad.
Here's what I want. Well, I want because this is the truth. Here's what I want on the hoax, the Russian hoax. Okay. We have the Paul Manafort, then we go down to Papadopoulos and
Flynn.
people. people just on these levels, but they didn't get who they wanted, Trump and all. On the flip side, I don't want 32 indictments of assistants. I don't want 32 indictments. Secretaries. I want I'll take just 4 or 5 top.
Big fish.
Yeah, just top. Hillary, Ben Rhodes,
Holder.
Comey. You know,
he alluded to Comey on.
But you understand what I'm saying? So that's why I'm staying at the speed limit here, because I feel good. I like what I heard the other day. I like the direction. I like what Lindsey Graham said. I like the way Kennedy set up all of his questions. But let's go to Nunes and his criminal referrals. Take off.
Well, he's got 8. He's got 8 that he feels pretty confident in. He's been on Hannity forever this week, and these are referrals to the Department of Justice to look in and see if there is in fact a crime. Correct?
They can indict them.
Right. So he alluded to the fact that it's Comey, Strzok, Page, or both of them, Nellie and Bruce. I think you'll find that those are in there. McCabe for sure. That guy's taking a powder.
He practically said it. Hannity said, "I know you can't tell me. I know you can't, but," and he said, "Well, I'll just tell you that it's people who have leaked information, leaders of organizations." So
McCabe put in his book that he was hanging his hat on that there was irrefutable evidence that there was collusion with the Trump campaign in Russia.
What about Pencilneck? You think he's in there?
I do.
Let me say this: if you go back and you look up on the internet and you start piecing together the
speculating,
words, Well, no, piecing together the actual words that Barr, Attorney General Barr said, and I'm not quoting him, but you can go look at the quote. He said, the FBI, he's looking at the FBI, he said, the FBI is not bad. He's not trying, but he said something in the reference, it's a couple at the higher level.
The top ranks are
right.
Yeah.
He said that. He said that, and Barr said that, okay? So he,
hint.
Right, exactly, because Barr has also commented, and he's left the door open that he has commented that he had not, when he made the comment, I have not seen at this time the Nunes criminal referrals, but when I see them, we're going to look at them. We're going to look at them and see if we need to do something with them. So Barr is waiting for these criminal referrals. Barr has said top level of the FBI, right?
Barr said he basically has already assembled a team,
right?
To start looking at this stuff.
And it really ticked him off when the guy called it a panel. It's not a panel. Oh man, he did. He said,
I didn't hear that.
Oh yeah,
what did he say? It's not a panel. What did he call it?
Well, tell us about this. It's not a panel. I don't have a panel put together.
Well, what are your friends Joe and Mika saying about this?
Run a defense. Run a defense that Barr is Barr campaigned for the job. He wrote that unsolicited letter about me.
Okay.
So they're saying you got an attorney general that campaigned for the job.
He's an illegitimate
on partisan lines.
And he has bought in. They're amazed this morning that he has bought in to our conspiracy theory. They can't believe that he's going down the road of our conspiracy theory. He can't believe. Now here's the thing. Okay, let's go here. The whole time, the Mueller investigation is going on. If Trump tweeted something about Mueller or said something about the investigation, everybody was yelling that he was obstructing the investigation, right?
Yep.
Well, if our Attorney General is going to investigate the genesis of this hoax, and you have what's his name up there in New York, Schumer, and you have all these people saying Barr has to retract his statement, demanding he retract the spot. Is that not obstructing his investigation?
You're absolutely correct. It is.
Without a doubt.
Right?
Yeah.
Are they not trying to put pressure on him?
He's knowingly lied to this country, which is treason.
Well, I'll tell you what. How about this?
Knowingly.
Just think this out. You got to run this through your mind. How about this for Nancy Pelosi making a statement that somebody's gone off the rails?
Oh.
Wow. of all people, gone off the rails. Hey, we're going to take a little break. We're going to come back, and when we do, it's time for, what do you think about the arrest of Julian Assange of WikiLeaks? I'm going to ask you that.
I got
you ready?
yeah,
you
I'm ready.
I figured. Right after these messages.